Hello there guys, welcome back to another epic inexorable maths video. In this video we're looking at matrices for the very first time. We're also going to look at how to add them a little bit later on as well. So many people have asked me, and it's a valid question, it's a common question, what actually is a matrix? Because we have three examples on the board right now. These are all matrices. What even are they? They're just like boxes with numbers in them, right? It's a bit weird. But matrices do lots and lots and lots of things. It's difficult to give you a concise definition of a matrix. There are many people that will give them. So one definition of a matrix is it is something that represents what you would call a linear transformation. But that's not very helpful right now to you if you don't know what that is. So for now, for the time being, the best way to think about what a matrix actually is it is simply a mathematical object, just like a number, that can be used to help you solve mathematical problems. That's really all it is, just like a number. A number, if I said to you, but what actually is a number? It's quite a hard question. And what actually is a matrix is an equally difficult question to answer. So for now, we will develop on this, but for now, a matrix is just a different type of mathematical object that you have not yet seen. Okay? And matrices work, they have rules, just like numbers have rules. How do you add a number together? How do you times numbers together? Etc., etc. Matrices have the same thing, but they work a little bit differently. So the first thing I want to do is talk about something very important about matrices, which is the dimension of a matrix. Okay? So every matrix has got dimensions. And the dimensions are the number of rows that a matrix has and the number of columns that a matrix has. So let's look at each of these three examples and see what the dimensions are for each of them. So the way that we write the dimensions of a matrix is as follows. So for the first one, notice that there are two rows, so one row here, and there are two columns. This is one column, this is another column. So row 1, row 2, column 1, column 2. There's two of each, so this is a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay? The first number is the number of rows, the second number is the number of columns, and that's literally all there is to it. So pause the video, have a think. How many rows and columns does this matrix have? So what is the dimension of that matrix? Pause the video and have a think about it. And now I'm going to tell you, this matrix has got 2 rows and 3 columns. So what is it? It's a 2 by 3 matrix. 2 by 3 matrix. And finally, pause again, have a think about that third matrix. I'm now going to tell you. Let's count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and 1, 2 columns. So this is a 4 by 2 matrix. Okay? That's how we describe the dimensions of a matrix. Okay? Now we're going to look at adding matrices and how you do that. And the first thing that I'll say about adding matrices is you can only add matrices together if they are of the same dimension. So you couldn't add a 2 by 2 matrix with a 2 by 3 matrix. You can't do that. But you can add a 2 by 2 matrix with another 2 by 2 matrix, or a 2 by 3 matrix with another 2 by 3 matrix. That is absolutely fine. So let's have a look at some examples. Here's our first example. We're going to add the matrix 7, 1, 3, 8 to the matrix 10, 11, minus 1, minus 2. So first of all, although it's hopefully quite obvious, the first thing that we should do is check that these matrices have the same dimension. And do they? Well, yes, they do, because this is a 2 by 2 matrix, and this is also a 2 by 2 matrix, which means that because they're the same, we can add them together. Now, how do you add them together? Well, your best guess is probably right. So the way that you do this is you literally look at each entry to the matrix, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, and in each one, you add them together. So 7 plus 10 is 17. So you put a 17 in the top left of the sum matrix. And you have a 1 plus an 11, so that's 12. So that goes in the top right of the final result. 3 plus negative 1 is the number 2. And 8 plus negative 2 is the number 6. So all in all, this is the result. Okay, so it's very, very simple, very, very straightforward on how you add matrices together. Let's just do one more example. Okay guys, so we have one more example here. We have these matrices. Now again, let's make sure that they are the same dimension. So what is the dimension of this matrix? Well, we have 1, 2, 3 rows and 1, 2 columns. So this is a 3 by 2 matrix, and we have the exact same thing here. So it's also a 3 by 2 matrix. Cool. And then the final result is just going to be the same process. So we're going to do 1 plus 7, which is 8. 2 plus 8 is 10. 3 plus 9 is 12. 4 plus 10 is 14. 5 plus 11 is 16. And 6 plus 12 is 18. And that's the final answer. That's all there is to it, guys, as far as adding matrices together. It's that simple. And one more thing that I'll mention is that the order that you add matrices doesn't matter. So if I add matrix A and matrix B, I will get the same thing as matrix B and matrix A. You might say, yeah, that's really obvious. Of course you do. But you will discover when we multiply matrices, that is not true. Okay, I've left you on a bit of a cliffhanger there. Stay tuned for the next video on matrices, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.